All right, guys, I'm taking the problems that y'all requested on the review days to make a quick video for your final exam. So last video of the year, here goes. First one I see is number 5. It says expand completely. Remember, there's all kinds of patterns here. Because that exponent is 4, there's going to be 5 terms in your answer. Go to NCR, go to y equals in your calculator, type in 4cx right there. Then go to table, and you should see these numbers 1, 4, 6, 4, 1 in the y column, and those are your coefficients. So I'm going to say 1 times 3a to the 4th power plus 4 coming from here. Remember, the exponent of 3a is going down, the exponent of 5b is coming up. 6, the exponent of 3a is going down, the 5b is coming up. Then I have a 4 again, 4 the 3a is going down, the 5b is coming up. And then I'm going to end up with just 5b to the 4th with the 1. Now, that's an awesome first step. You got to keep finishing. Now, one thing about this with the test being multiple choice is that you may be able to not work all that out and still be able to see the answer. The first term is going to be 81 to the 4th. All I'm doing is multiplying, like 4 times 3 cubed times 5, which I think is 540 a cubed. I don't have my calculator, so bear with me here. 3 squared is 9, 5 squared is 25. That's a little tough one. Let's see. Give me just a second here. Yeah, it's 1350 a squared b squared. 4 times 3, which should be 12 times 5 cubed, which is 125. It's 1500. These are big numbers. A b cubed, and then you go 5 to the 4th power, which everybody knows is 625. B to the 4th. So there's number 5. The first one you asked for. Second one looks like it's number 8. Let's see if I can find it real quick. Number 8. Solve by completing the square. First of all, you gotta have room to complete the square, so we're gonna move the 11 to the other side, make it x squared minus 4x equals 7. Now when you complete the square, you take half the middle, which is negative 2, square it, add to both sides. I'm adding 4 to both sides, that side becomes 11. Over here, you can now factor x minus 2 squared. Remember that whatever the half was always goes into parentheses. Take the square root on both sides, you get x minus 2 is plus or minus the square root of 11. Move the 2 over to the other side, you get 2 plus or minus square root of 11. And there's that one. Let's keep going here. What's next is looks like number 13. So let's go down to 13. Identify the vertices and foci. It's a ellipse, which is the last thing we did. You need the center first. The center is negative 3 and 2. To get the best way to get the vertices, remember the bigger one is the major. And because the 16 is out of y, that means the y is the major. And because it's 16, it means we're going to go 4 up and 4 down. So if I'm at this point, negative 3, 2, and I go up 4, I'm now at negative 3, 6. And if I go down 4, I'm now at negative 2. Notice the x is not changing. The foci you're going to find by doing c squared is a squared minus b squared, which is 7. So c would be plus or minus square root of 7. You also add it to the major part of your center. So your foci is going to be negative 3, and then 2 plus or minus square root of 7. So it'd also be a dead giveaway when you look at your multiple choice answers there. Let's see, that was 13. I'm trying to scope down here. 16 is next. 16, write the vertex form of that parabola. When you start to write a parabola, put your vertex, do the opposite of your vertex in your parentheses. So I'm going x plus 1 and y minus 6. It would really help if you draw a little rough sketch here. Negative 1, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is right here. The focus is negative 1 and 25 fourths, which is really 6 and 1 fourth. So it's a little bit above that vertex, which means it's going to open up. That's important because that means the 4p goes with the y, because the y-axis goes up, which means the square's on the other side. Now don't forget what p stands for. P stands for how far is it from the focus, vertex to the focus. In this case, it's 1/4. So I'm going to take 1/4 and plug it right there. And if I do 1/4 times 4, it just gives me 1. So it's really, even though I'm not writing it there, there's a 1 in front of that parentheses. All right, that's 16. Trying to see what the next one is here. 16, then 17. That's convenient. 17 is Cramer's rule. We're doing Cramer's rule. Remember our gesture for that. If you're looking for x, don't use the x on the top. So I'm going to, instead, I'm going to use negative 14 and negative 18. And have the 4 and the 7. Remember on the bottom, xy, xy. So I'm going, not literally x, the coefficient on the x, negative 3, 4, negative 2, 7. Then I'm going to cross multiply here. So negative 14 times 7 is negative 98. Minus 4 times 18 is negative 72. On the bottom, I'm getting negative 21 minus negative 8. So that gives me negative 26 over negative 13, which is 2. And then my y, we get negative 13 down here on the numerator. Now if I'm looking for y, don't use the y on the top. I can use the negative 3 and the negative 2, but I'm using a negative 14 and negative 18 where the y should be. So I'm going 54 minus 28 there over negative 13. That's going to be 26 over negative 13, which is negative 2. So the answer you're looking for on your choice is 2, negative 2 for sure. Let's see, that was 17. Next one looks like it's 19. So I'm going to scope down to 19. 19 surprises me that you would want that one, but we'll do it anyway. It's just synthetic division. So 4 goes in the box. I got 1, 4. Always double check for zeros here. There's no zeros because I have every exponent is represented, so I'm good. So start off by bringing the 1 down, multiply by what's in the box, add, multiply, add, multiply, add. Circle the last one because that's your remainder. These numbers down here represent the coefficients of your quotient or your answer. So I'm going to put 1x squared. Remember also your answer starts 1 degree less than where we started. We started with x cubed. The answer begins with x squared. So I'm going x squared plus 8x plus 8. And then I'm going 20 over what we started with, which is x minus 4. And there's that one. Let's see, that was 19. Looks like the next one is 22. There's 22. I'm solving 22. Because I can't find the same base, I'm going to do log both sides. I'm going to do x log 11 equals log 43. Divide both sides by log 11. And I'm just going to punch that in my calculator and see what I get, except I don't have a calculator. Let me see if I can find something here to work that out. All right, to be honest, I just used my phone, but I think it's pretty accurate, 1.5685. All right, let's keep going here. Next one looks like it's number, let's see, that was 22. Instead of going to 30, let's see if 30 is on this page. 30, of course not. Number 30, there it is. Determine the geometric is geometric. If it is geometric, find the common ratio. It is geometric because they're multiplying everything by the same number, and that is negative 2. That's the common ratio. To find the eighth term, oh, by the way, here's the formula. Right here, the first term times r to the minus 1 power. So I'm looking for the eighth term. I'm doing the first term, which is 3, times r, which is negative 2, to the n minus 1. Because n is 8, I'm going to put the 7th power right there. And I'm going to also punch that one in real quick. Let's see here. Thanks for being patient with me with no calc. I don't know why I didn't think about this. When I left school the other day, let's see, 2 to the 7th. Okay. That's going to be negative 128 times 3. I'm getting 384. Should be negative 384. All there is to that one. And it does say explicit form, but really this is explicit form. You could just put those numbers in to the function there and you'll have it. Next one after 30 is 31. Evaluate the geometric series. Okay, this is pretty good doozy right here. So the formula looks like this. It looks like A1 1 minus r to the n power over 1 minus r. So I'm just going to put the numbers in. The first term is negative 3. R, you can tell they're multiplying by negative 6. I'm doing negative 6 to the 6th power because it tells you what n is. All over 1 minus negative 6. Punch that all in your calculator, and my phone's not capable of doing that. I don't think. It'll take me forever. So I believe the answer is 3280. You should have that answer with you anyway. So you can kind of look that one up. That was 31. It looks like we got one more, which is 35. We scroll down here, see if it's on. Yep, there it is. It says sketch the solution to these inequalities. So, and of course, on your final exam, obviously, it'll be multiple choice. You'll be able to see the graphs, but you should see 2 lines here. When you get this graph, you're going to graph, shade, see where we go. So the first line is in slope-intercept form, so I'm going to go down to negative 1. The slope is 2, so rise 2, run 1. Connect with a broken line. And remember, we have to shade one side or the other, so I'm going to plug in 0, 0 to see where. If I plug in 0, 0, I get 0 is less than negative 1. That is not true, which means I would shade away from 0. I'm not going to shade yet, but I would shade that direction. The second equation, I'm going to go in yellow. Y-intercept's negative 3. Slope is negative 1. I'm going to go down 1, right 1. It's also broken. Just like that, plug in 0, 0, I get 0 is greater than negative 3, which is true. So I'm going to shade towards 0, 0, which is up there. If you can tell where my arrows are pointing, I'm going to shade where I would have shaded twice if I'd have shaded both times, which is this whole region right there. All right, let me double check here, make sure that's all you all asked for. It is. Hope that helps. I'll be at school early for both exams on Monday, so come see me if you need me. See you, bye.